Stand Up Diaries with Michelle Christine.
Hello and welcome to Stand Up Diaries, entry 112, and this one's called Happy Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day today. We have some flowers out there. I gave my mom a phone call. Two of the three kids gave her a card, and so I said to her on the phone, I was like, well, there is the phrase that a phone call is worth 10 cards, and she's like, oh, I'll buy into that, so that was good. And I also said that I made a blueberry pie, which tasted really good, but because I care about like her cholesterol, that, you know, I made it here where she couldn't try it, but that the inspiration to make it was for Mother's Day. But I don't know, I joke with her all the time. She laughs at the things that I say, so that's always good. Dean's got Kooza up in the front because I have the bird right here eating some seeds so that the bird's quiet, and now the dog's quiet, so that's good. We actually went out and played tennis today because he got me a tennis racket for my birthday. Mine was broken. It's a beautiful day in Toronto, probably one of the most beautiful days that we've had in the city, which is great. And stand-up last night, so earlier in the day I went to a music open mic. But at the end of the night, I did the Red Rocket, Joel West's room, out on the Danforth and kind of Greenwood approximately, and I love that room. There's always an audience. They're small but hearty, probably usually between, I don't know, I would say between 4 and 10 people are usually in the audience. And I just had a fun time. At the beginning, I was like, okay, how dirty do you want it? Because it was still bright out, and it feels weird doing dirty humor when it's still light out, but they're like, no, dirty's fine. So I just kind of worked on some of the new jokes that I'm working on for the show in June, and I've pretty much stopped doing most of the material that I was still doing for the last show, because you have to kind of commit to it. My material is not going to be nearly good enough for the show in June unless I really start hitting the pavement hard, refining those jokes. So I had kind of a fun time at that set, and it's always nice when you get to the 5 minutes and you kind of didn't want to wrap up. Like, you had so much to say that you're like, oh no, that 5 minutes is up, because every once in a while you'll do a set and you'll be like, oh, like, how much time do I have left? And you're kind of like, oh, like, it's always nice to have so much material that the 5 minutes tends to fly by. Anyways, this has been your next edition of Stand Up Diaries. I have been Michelle Christine.